hours before he challenges for the World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther is in action in tonight's main event, one-on-one against an old rival in the whole shebang, Johnny Gargano. And also coming up tonight on SmackDown, the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight title, Ilya Dragunov, alongside Nathan Frazier, take on Legado del Fantasma's Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde. We are 48 hours before our trip to New York City at Survivor Series, but tonight it's the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio for Friday Night SmackDown. And we kick things off with the man who will challenge Cody Rhodes for the United States Championship at Survivor Series, the phenomenal AJ Styles. A new leash on life, a new leash on his career. Will it lead to gold this Sunday in New York City?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the rings, representing the OC from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 218 pounds, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Well, AJ Styles ambushed Cody Rhodes several weeks ago and threw down the gauntlet that he was coming for the United States Championship. The American Nightmare not one to hesitate and turn away a challenge. It will be Cody Rhodes defending the red, white, blue, and gold this Sunday at Survivor Series against AJ Styles. With the new attitude of AJ Styles as of late, and I'm sure Cody Rhodes not only looking to retain his United States Championship, but also get a measure of retribution over Styles. We're going to be in for one hell of a clash of these two SmackDown superstars in the middle of Madison Square Garden. But as for tonight on SmackDown, AJ Styles better remain focused because he's got the strange and very unusual Dexter Lumis awaiting him inside the squared circle.
And his opponent from Recluse, Wyoming, weighing in at 230 pounds, Dexter Lumis.
We'll be live this Sunday night from New York City in Madison Square Garden, 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the 2023 edition of the Fall Classic Survivor Series, one of my personal favorite events of the year. 6 championships to be decided, not one, but 2 traditional Survivor Series elimination contests. It is going to be one hell of a night in the world's most famous arena. And tonight, a chance for AJ Styles to build some last-minute momentum towards his opportunity to become the United States champion. You got to look at Dexter Lumis in this match as well. It's been some time since we've seen Dexter in action. And, Dexter went out with an injury earlier this year, an injury that kept him from a chance to become the #1 contender to the United States Championship. All these months later, Lumis now goes one-on-one with the current #1 contender at AJ Styles. You gotta wonder if Dexter's looking at this as an opportunity to possibly put himself in line for a chance at the United States gold. All remains to be seen. Nonetheless, Lumis one-on-one with the phenomenal AJ Styles here to kick things off. We are live for the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio for Friday Night SmackDown. Last time we were in this building was back in July for the Money in the Bank live premiere event. Remember what happened in the main event on that night? Drew McIntyre retained his World Heavyweight Championship against the Rated R Superstar Edge and the Apex Predator Randy Orton in one hell of a triple threat matchup. McIntyre has been the man on SmackDown all year long. With this Sunday night at Survivor Series, he defends his big gold belt against the ring general, Gunther, in a clash of SmackDown Titans this Sunday in the world's most famous arena. Of course, we will see Gunther in your main event tonight as he reunites an old rivalry against Johnny Gargano. Those two men were butting heads back in early fall. Remember at the No Mercy event in September, Imperium with the 6-man tag team victory over the Mysterios and Johnny Gargano. All this time later, Gargano getting a crack at retribution before he competes in the SmackDown side of the traditional Survivor Series elimination match this Sunday. Gargano to be a part of Team Edge against Team Austin Theory. We'll talk about that matchup a little bit more in depth later tonight. As for the action inside the squared circle right now, AJ Styles, Dexter Lumis kicking things off here on SmackDown. And Dexter so unorthodox inside of that ring. Very hard guy to predict what is going to come next. He can beat you down like we're seeing right here. He's got the power game. He's got some agility in the arsenal as well. That is just one of the reasons why Dexter Lumis is so strange and unusual inside of the ropes. Of course, the crawl inside the ring during his entrance doesn't help matters at all. Nonetheless, AJ Styles doesn't give a damn who he's in the ring with tonight. AJ is looking for victory on his road to Survivor Series. Beautiful maneuver there, like AJ Styles' new attitude or not. The same tactics that have made him the phenomenal one today. Into the cover goes Styles, not just yet. Dexter still into this thing. AJ Styles, tired of waiting in line, tired of being a fan favorite. Recently said in a backstage interview for WWE.com that AJ Styles being a fan favorite wasn't getting him anywhere. It was getting him losses. It was getting him failures. He decided to turn his back on anybody who wasn't benefiting his desires of being a champion. And Dexter Lumis doesn't give a damn about those desires. Looking to tap out AJ Styles in the middle of the SmackDown ring. AJ got to break out of this thing here. Does not want to see defeat before he can test the American Nightmare this Sunday. Dexter with another shot, and Dexter once again going for a submission hold, trying to pass out AJ Styles. Styles may tap out, Styles may pass out, but if one of those happens, I was going to say if one of those happens, it's not going to go well for Styles heading into Sunday, but there's a reversal. And now Styles with a big-time neck breaker on Dexter Lumis. Into the cover. And Dexter still into this thing, with the ante being upped in the last minute or so of this match. Remember what happened last week on SmackDown? Cody Rhodes fired up, seeing him inside the squared circle for the first time since AJ Styles ambushed him in London, England a few weeks ago. Cody came out last week and defeated AJ Styles' running buddy, Carl Anderson, in under a minute here on SmackDown. If that doesn't tell you how fired up Cody is to get his hands on Styles and retain his United States title, I don't know what will. Ever since AJ ambushed Cody a few weeks ago, he has certainly been making some noise here on SmackDown. And we're back at Saturday night's main event. AJ going one-on-one with Rey Mysterio. Picked up the win on that night in Milwaukee. And looking to do the same tonight. Overhead suplex, throwing Dexter Lumis spine first into the turnbuckle pads. AJ is all over Lumis, has really flipped the switch. You see the fire inside AJ, the desire to be a champion, and the desire to have his momentum on his side. Also, wait a minute, what the hell? The hell was that? Dexter Lumis! Isn't the first time we've seen Lumis play some games like that. You know, I want to know who Dexter paid off in the production crew. I don't know what the hell that was. Nonetheless, AJ Styles not allowing the mind games of Dexter Lumis to interfere in his United States Championship aspirations. Styles trying to muscle Dexter Lumis maybe for a Styles clash. Nonetheless, Lumis trying to take advantage. Reversal there, another reversal by Styles, and here we go. Things are really picking up in your opening match on SmackDown. Oh man, Acai moonsault. And there's a cover by the Phenomenal One, but Dexter Lumis is still in this matchup. It has not been an easy fight for AJ. AJ does not want to risk injury, risk fatigue, heading into his match with Cody Rhodes this Sunday when the lights are on bright in the Garden. As for Dexter Lumis, though, it's now or never to get back into this thing, because Styles is really starting to mount some momentum. And wait a minute, Styles now with a Styles clash on Dexter Lumis. Thanks for coming, AJ Styles, red hot on the road to Madison Square Garden. All it was for AJ Styles was a shift in focus and a shift in attitude, and he has seen nothing but success over the last few weeks. But will that success roll into Madison Square Garden this Sunday and lead to a United States Championship victory for the Phenomenal One?
Here is your winner, the Phenomenal.
Oh, wait a minute, Cody Rhodes! Cody Rhodes in the ring and giving AJ Styles a taste of his own medicine. And what the hell? Cody Rhodes is calling for a steel cage. What was that up behind the curtains up there? I did not see that earlier in the day. But things breaking down right now. Cody trying to trap AJ Styles before Anderson and Gallows can come to a rescue. Turned his back for a second, and now this cage is backfiring against the American Nightmare. Well, the plan was there, but turned his back for a moment. Tried to exonate Anderson and Gallows from the equation, but AJ Styles took advantage. Momentum on the side of the Phenomenal One towards Survivor Series. coming your way on Sunday night, November the 19th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a live premiere event. It's the 2023 edition of the Fall Classic, the Thanksgiving week tradition. It's WWE Survivor Series, brought to you by Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. And not only is this going to be a night of epic proportions, but it will emanate from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden in New York City. Don't miss Survivor Series, live from MSG on November 19th. He is the winner of the 2023 Cruiserweight Classic. And because of that victory back in October, he finally gets his meeting with Santos Escobar for the Cruiserweight Championship of the World this Sunday night at Survivor Series. But tonight it's tag team action here in Columbus, Ohio.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 187 pounds, Ilya Dragunov.
Ilya Dragunov, red hot coming out of the Cruiserweight Classic last month, and ever since moving to SmackDown has been nothing but sharp. But can he take down the Emperor of Lucha Libre, the man who has held the gold since back in May, Santos Escobar? What a collision this is going to be for the Cruiserweight Championship this Sunday night in the Big Apple. Ilya Dragunov earlier this year won the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania when he was a part of the Raw roster. Dragunov winning the Cruiserweight Classic. Can he cap off this year of 2023 by winning the Cruiserweight Championship? We will find out in just 48 hours. Again, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be live in New York City, Madison Square Garden for the 2023 Survivor Series. But as for tonight, Dragunov looks to get some momentum on his side against Legado del Fantasma, teaming up with Nathan Frazier, who moved to SmackDown in the middle of the Cruiserweight Classic from NXT. Nathan Frazier, of course, a former NXT Heritage Cup champion, now a part of the Blue brand, and looking to start building some momentum for himself on Friday nights. Nathan Frazier certainly made an impact in the Cruiserweight Classic. Let's see if he can continue to do so.
And his partner, from Jersey in the Channel Islands, weighing in at 182 pounds, Nathan Frazier.
The question at hand tonight is not only can these two men build their respective momentums, but will they be able to out-behest Legado del Fantasma in a tag team matchup with, let's be real, Frazier and Dragunov, no experience as a team coming into tonight. With just last week, or I should say just last month, Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde were the #1 contenders for the tag team championships here in the WWE and almost won those titles back at Clash at the Castle. Momentum may be on the line, but it is not going to be an easy task for Nathan Frazier and the #1 contender, Ilya Dragunov. Nonetheless, what happens on Sunday happens on Sunday, but tonight the Cruiserweight Championship is around the waist of the Emperor of Lucha Libre, Santos Escobar, and Legado del Fantasma.
And accompanied by Santos Escobar at a combined weight of 365 pounds, Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro, Legado del Fantasma.
It was earlier this year that Santos Escobar participated in a trilogy of matches with the greatest mask of all time, in my respective opinion, Rey Mysterio. And it was back at Vengeance in May where Santos Escobar defeated Rey to win the Cruiserweight title. Ever since then, he has retained it. Remember back in June at King of the Ring, you remember that extreme Lucha Rules match between Escobar and Mysterio, Escobar retaining on that night. He has defeated J.D. McDonough, Chad Gable not once but twice in the midst of this championship reign. But can he get through the invincible Mad Dragon himself, Ilya Dragunov, this Sunday, who has had one hell of a year in 2023, has that man. As we mentioned, Dragunov winning the Intercontinental Championship during his reign on Raw earlier this year, held the title from WrestleMania all the way to July. Dragunov just a few weeks later started his participation in the Cruiserweight Classic tournament. Of course, went 4 rounds and defeated Johnny Gargano in the finals to get him to where he is tonight. A part of the SmackDown brand officially, and fighting Santos Escobar this Sunday. Will Dragunov be able to continue his hot streak of momentum, or Legado del Fantasma going to welcome him to SmackDown with not necessarily open arms tonight? Nonetheless, Joaquin Wilde looking good so far against Dragunov. And this tag team matchup continuing us on here on SmackDown. Remember what we mentioned moments ago. Obviously, LDF with the tag team experience in this matchup. Dragunov and Nathan Frazier, I'm sure tons of respect, and obviously 2 great individuals. But no tag team experience between those 2 men tonight. How is that going to favor the #1 contender and his tag team partner? Nonetheless, Dragunov just trying to get back into this thing after Wilde was hot out of the gate and snaps him to the outside. And a tag made to Nathan Frazier, who's participating in his first match here, a part of the SmackDown brand tonight. We saw him in the Cruiserweight Classic. Again, made an impact down in NXT, but officially a part of the SmackDown brand and looking to make some noise. What a shooting star press! Standing with it as well, only getting the 1 count, but Nathan Frazier showing just some of the maneuvers that have made him successful so far. And Frazier made it down to the final 4 in the Cruiserweight Classic tournament, and we defeated Wes Lee in the opening round. Nathan Frazier went on all the way to just fall short to Johnny Gargano in the semifinals. Frazier certainly turned a lot of heads all those weeks ago in Manhattan, New York, but now tonight on SmackDown, trying to get back into this matchup. Cruz del Toro in there, and Frazier throwing some left, throwing some right to the enziguri. I'm sure Nathan Frazier, with all the respect in the world for Ilya Dragunov, and I'm sure respect for Santos Escobar as well, but would love to put himself in line for a future Cruiserweight Championship match. Certainly a win tonight to raise his stock in this ever-growing SmackDown division. Nonetheless, Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde not looking to reward Dragunov and Frazier with the momentum they seek tonight. Out of the way goes Frazier. Tilt-to-whirl, head scissors, down goes del Toro. Goes for the super kick, nobody home, shot right to the back. Now del Toro might have misstepped a moment ago, but making Frazier pay. What a backbreaker on the knees. Nathan Frazier is going to feel that one on Saturday morning as Joaquin Wilde now. A couple of fresh legs in this match. Springboard goes for a corkscrew. Didn't get all of it, but got enough. Luckily for Nathan Frazier in the corner he needed to be in. Ilya Dragunov, the legal man, but he gets caught with the double knees again. Oh man, Dragunov willing to fight all 3 members of Legado del Fantasma if need be. Takes down del Toro and now going after Wilde in between the ropes. Oh my goodness. That was a chop heard around the world. Well, as a matter of fact, we mentioned how Dragunov held that Intercontinental Championship from WrestleMania to Money in the Bank in July. Well, it was this very building back in July where he lost that title to LA Knight at Money in the Bank. You gotta wonder if Dragunov being back inside these walls tonight, or remembering that loss, remembering the loss that really sent him on a new trajectory here in the WWE, and if that's gonna add any extra motivation to get the W tonight. All remains to be seen. Dragunov just needs to keep his eyes on the prize, get the victory tonight, and go fight Santos Escobar in the world's most famous arena on Sunday. Dragunov could have been loading up for that big-time lariat. Joaquin Wilde did his homework, however. Another tilt-to-whirl. Legado del Fantasma taking Dragunov and Frazier for a couple of amusement park rides tonight. Santos Escobar has got to be happy with what he sees so far in this match by his running buddies in Legado del Fantasma. You know, Escobar, del Toro, and Wilde, we have seen a different side of them over the last few months. They're not stabbing people in the back anymore. We haven't seen the old ambushes of old Legado del Fantasma. They've really came back down to earth and leaving it all inside the squared circle and giving the respect to the opponents that they feel deserve that respect. At the end of the day, the championships are on the line, and momentum like tonight is on the line. It's any means necessary inside of the ring. Dragunov might have took del Toro's head off with that lariat, fouled it up with the knee. Frazier taking care of Wilde at ringside, And now the Mad Dragon loaded up in the corner for Torpedo Moscow. Into the cover on Del Toro. And that's a victory for Nathan Frazier and the #1 contender. Santos Escobar cannot be happy about that. Ilya Dragunov, red hot through the Cruiserweight Classic and ever since joining SmackDown. But can he ride that momentum into Survivor Series this Sunday night?
Here are your winners, Ilya Dragunov and Nathan Frazier.
Ilya Dragunov just may be leaving the world's most famous arena in 48 hours as the WWE Cruiserweight Champion of the world. Santos Escobar is going to have a run for his money this Sunday night when he meets the Mad Dragon in the world's most famous arena. Coming your way on Sunday night, November the 19th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a live premiere event. It's the 2023 edition of the Fall Classic, the Thanksgiving week tradition. It's WWE Survivor Series, brought to you by Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. And not only is this going to be a night of epic proportions, but it will emanate from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden in New York City. Don't miss Survivor Series, live from MSG on November 19th. We are back inside the Nationwide Arena here in Columbus, Ohio, as Bron Breakker is set for action just 48 hours before the SmackDown Traditional Survivor Series elimination match. It is Team Edge featuring Ricochet, Johnny Gargano, and Rey Mysterio taking on Team Austin Theory featuring Randy Orton, Grayson Waller, and meaner than evil, Bron Breakker. Certainly an all-star lineup of young and hungry, as well as all Hall of Famer SmackDown superstars. But tonight on SmackDown, Bron Breakker looking to bring some good mojo to the Team Austin Theory side of the field. But the master of the 619, Rey Mysterio, looking to ride some momentum in the Survivor Series and strap a rocket to the back of Team Edge before that 4-on-4 collision this Sunday night in the Garden. Should be a hell of a matchup here in Columbus, Ohio.
And his opponent from San Diego, California, weighing in at 175 pounds, Rey Mysterio!
Well, this is an interesting matchup tonight because things have not been going so hot for Rey Mysterio here on SmackDown. Really raking up some losses, especially over the last few weeks. I mean, just last week on SmackDown coming up short to the team captain on Sunday, Austin Theory. And just a few days prior to that, falling to AJ Styles at Saturday night's main event. So Mysterio back in action tonight, going one-on-one with this young, tough, blue chipper Bron Breakker. Both of these men looking to get some momentum for their respective sides on Sunday night. Again, it will be Team Austin Theory versus Team Edge in a good old-fashioned traditional Survivor Series elimination matchup, 4-on-4. Eliminations can occur by pinfall, submission, countout, or disqualification. An entire team needs to be eliminated to secure some winners in that matchup. Rey Mysterio will represent, or I should say is representing Team Edge tonight. Breakker representing Team Theory. And really, when you look at the lineup on Sunday, all 8 of those men have got a lot of history with each other all throughout this year on SmackDown. I mean, Edge and Randy Orton, how many battles have they had just this year alone? Remember the battle back at SummerSlam between those two men. Bron Breakker has had his issues with Ricochet just a few months ago when they were battling out for United States Championship contention. Grayson Waller, one of the newcomers to SmackDown, of course fell to Ricochet a few weeks ago in London, England. Johnny Gargano, unfortunately coming up short to Randy Orton recently on SmackDown. I mean, a lot of different storylines to follow in that 4-on-4 match this Sunday night. At the end of the day, it all comes down to Survivor Series. It all comes down to being the sole survivors, the last man standing in that matchup. Look at Mysterio from behind. Nice maneuver there, taking out Bron Breakker. Mysterio trying to do his best to get a much-needed victory tonight, not just for Team Edge on Sunday, but for himself. those recent losses can really add to your psyche, and at this stage in his career, Rey Mysterio really needs those victories. Into the cover, Bron Breakker able to survive that big-time splash by the master of the 619. Look at this, just trying to absorb the blow, fight through the punishment, and muscle Rey Mysterio down to the canvas. Bron Breakker, we have seen the rise of that young man throughout the year on SmackDown. We speculated that he may have bit off more than he can chew at times. I think he was challenging Drew McIntyre for the world title, Cody Rhodes for the United States Championship. Bron Breakker going to be a future main event star without a doubt here in the WWE. But obviously some lessons still to be learned as Rey Mysterio sending Bron Breakker into the ropes. And I think we know what comes next to 619. Springboard, hits him with the frog splash. Bron Breakker seeing stars right now. And Rey Mysterio secures a much-needed victory, not only for himself, but for Team Edge this Sunday night at Survivor Series. Well, Bron Breakker, best of luck next time. Rey Mysterio did his homework on this young man, able to hit the 619 and the frog splash combination and getting the 1-2-3 tonight on SmackDown.
Here's your winner, Rey Mysterio!
Well, Mysterio with the win tonight. But who will be the sole survivors this Sunday in the traditional Survivor Series elimination match? It is the 2023 edition of the Fall Classic, coming your way at 5 p.m. Eastern Time from Madison Square Garden in New York City this Sunday. It is Survivor Series. For the Cruiserweight Championship of the world, the Emperor of Lucha Libre, Santos Escobar, puts the gold on the line against the Cruiserweight Classic winner, the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov. AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes tensions have certainly been running at an all-time high for weeks on end. Something's got to give this Sunday when the Phenomenal One challenges the American Nightmare for the red, white, blue, and gold, the prestigious United States Championship. Rey Mysterio picking up that win against Bron Breakker moments ago, and that is going to go well for the traditional Survivor Series elimination match on Sunday when Team Edge, featuring Mysterio, Gargano, and Ricochet, takes on Team Austin Theory, featuring Grayson Waller, Bron Breakker, and the Apex Predator, Randy Orton. That is only one traditional Survivor Series elimination match, but coming your way from Raw, it is Team Karrion Kross, featuring the Judgment Day, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor, alongside Solo Sikoa, taking on Team Sheamus, featuring the World Tag Team Champions, Butch and Ridge Holland, alongside the prize fighter, Kevin Owens. Who is going to be the first Women's World Champion here on SmackDown? Well, we find out on Sunday in this elimination clash. Candice LeRae, Shayna Baszler, Io Sky, and Raquel Rodriguez all punching their ticket in qualifying matches. Who will be the last woman standing? And who's going to be the last one standing in this Extreme Rules match from Raw? Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, they've been trying to tear each other apart for weeks. This Sunday it all comes to a head when the WWE Women's Championship is on the line. In the Monday Night Raw main event at Survivor Series, the Blackheart, Tommaso Ciampa, outlasted the Deadly Games Eliminator and becomes the sole challenger for the visionary Seth freaking Rollins. The WWE Championship is up for grabs. And in the SmackDown main event, it is the Clash of Titans. The World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre, takes on possibly his biggest test to date, the Ring General, Gunther. These two men meet head-to-head in the middle of the world's most famous arena, live this Sunday night for the World Heavyweight Championship at Survivor Series. But it is main event time tonight on SmackDown.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Cleveland, Ohio, weighing in at 199 pounds, Johnny Gargano!
Johnny Gargano out to do what his tag team partner on Sunday, Rey Mysterio, just accomplished. Build momentum for Team Edge ahead of that traditional 4-on-4 collision. But also for Johnny Gargano tonight, out for a little bit of retribution, a little bit of payback against a man who owns several victories over Gargano, dating back to August and September, that being the Ring General Gunther. Gargano has fought the Ring General before, and just 48 hours before Gunther challenges for the World Championship, this could be a huge opportunity for Gargano to put himself in line for future championship opportunities. All remains to be seen. The Ring General, I'm sure, is going to be walking down the aisle, heavily focused and highly motivated to seek victory.
And his opponent, representing Imperium from Vienna, Austria, weighing in at 297 pounds, Gunther!
Gunther has suffered one loss since joining SmackDown and making his debut on December the 9th, 2022. That one loss coming back at SummerSlam to the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and losing the United States Championship. But make no mistake about it, Gunther has revved up the engines ever since, has been more destructive and more dominant than ever. There's been a different side, a bigger aggression, if you will, in the Ring General, and we saw that just a few weeks ago when Gunther powerbombed Drew McIntyre through the announce table, sending a message to the Scottish Warrior that you may be great, but you are not the best here on SmackDown. All remains to be seen who is going to be the better man when the World Heavyweight Championship is on the line this Sunday night, in what I'm sure is going to be a clash of titans at Survivor Series. But here we go tonight in the Nationwide Arena, Columbus, Ohio. Johnny Gargano, the Ring General Gunther, set for action, and Gargano high out of the gate. I expect nothing less by the whole shebang, who is seeking victory tonight against the #1 contender. Super kick heard around the Nationwide Arena. And Gargano ain't wasting no time tonight, realizes that this isn't a matchup that's going to require a collar, an elbow, and a headlock, and a feeling out process. Gargano knows all about Gunther's offense inside of the ring and is trying to beat him to the punch with some of his best maneuvers. There he goes again. Into the cover. What a win it could be for Gargano if he can keep down the leader of Imperium just 48 hours before he challenges Drew McIntyre. Look at this, Gargano looking for one final beat on the apron. Johnny Gargano with the engine revved up to 100. And now a tope suicida. Gunther's got no answer right now as the whole shebang is all over his opponent. Johnny Gargano came for victory tonight and will not be satisfied with any other result. There's Gunther just trying to slow down Johnny Gargano, who's been running a mile a minute since the opening bell. Don't want to play games with the Ring General, especially so close to his world title match against Drew McIntyre at Survivor Series. Drew McIntyre again winning that world championship back at WrestleMania earlier this year, has defended it successfully over the likes of John Cena, Edge, Randy Orton, Bron Breakker, AJ Styles, Austin Theory. McIntyre has not seen defeat since December of last year, has been undefeated in all of 2023. Gunther, of course, only suffering one loss, but these two men nonetheless. That is this Sunday at Survivor Series, but Gargano once again doing everything he can to keep down Gunther tonight. Johnny Gargano may see this as an opportunity to challenge for the World Championship after Survivor Series, regardless of who the champion is, if he can somehow keep down the Ring General. Man, what would that do to Gunther's momentum and Gunther's psyche being rewarded his only second ever loss here on SmackDown, just 48 hours before the biggest match of his SmackDown career. This is a man who was a former United States champion this year. This is a man who held the NXT United Kingdom title for 870 days at one time. Johnny Gargano does not care about the resume of Gunther, doesn't care where he's been and where he's heading. Johnny Gargano heading halfway across the ring after Gunther shot out like a cannon with that drop kick. And I'm going for the chokehold, going for the submission hold that has defeated so many maneuvers, I should say so many participants inside of the squared circle. A little early on in the matchup, though, I don't know if Gunther's done enough damage to Johnny Wrestling to keep him down this early. You've seen Gargano fight with some of the best of them and go the distance in the past and able to survive Gunther momentarily. Johnny, a former NXT Grand Slam champion, now looking to rise the ranks here on Friday Night SmackDown. Able to survive that submission hold moments ago, but I'm sure it took some great life out of Gargano, who is doing his all right now to not only knock Gunther off his feet, but certainly keep him there. I wonder what's going through the mind of the World Heavyweight Champion Drew McIntyre. Remember just last week, McIntyre alongside Edge, keeping down Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser of Imperium. Some good momentum on the side, of course, but when you're fighting the ring general, does momentum really matter? It might all come down to the night of and who just is the better man. Well, it remains to be seen what is going to happen in the SmackDown main event at Survivor Series. Well, Gargano really doing a number right here on Gunther. You got to give it up for the whole shebang, who muscles up Gunther and slingshots him right into the corner. Into the cover, and that may do it. Gargano with a huge victory, not just yet. Man, imagine if Johnny Gargano can get the victory tonight. Himself and Rey Mysterio rolling into Sunday night at Survivor Series in that 4-on-4 match. Gunther going for the victory again. I should say Gargano going for the victory again, but not just yet. Johnny Gargano may have feel like he's thrown everything at Gunther so far, and the ring general is still into it. That's what makes Gunther so dangerous. Going for the enziguri there. The ring general survives. Gunther with a parachute. Gargano with a counter. Drop toe hold. And Johnny Gargano locking in the Gargano escape on the ring general. The leader of Imperium may be passing out on his road to Survivor Series if this keeps up. Oh, and Gunther with a bare knee to the back of the skull and follows it up with a closed fist and a big boot. Don't piss off the #1 contender to the World Heavyweight Championship. Oh man, Gunther full steam ahead, grabbing Johnny Gargano with absolutely no remorse. Oh no, look at this, and a power bomb on the top of the barricade. Gunther is not gonna go in the Survivor Series with a loss, and will stop at nothing to keep down Johnny Gargano tonight. But the same can be said about Mr. Wrestling himself, but there's Gunther. Another counter there. Looking to use the barricade at his friend. That is certainly a way to flip the switch in this matchup. Johnny Gargano, oh my goodness, getting eaten alive by Gunther right now. This thing is going to start to look like a car wreck if Gunther continues to have his way. Look at this, just, oh my goodness, a headbutt right to the spine. Gunther is vicious, in between the ropes, out of the ropes. That is the reason he has only suffered one loss over the last year on SmackDown. Gargano knocks him off his feet momentarily, trying to do anything, throw anything at Gunther that he can to keep the big man down. Going for the moonsault, didn't get all of it, but the boots of Gunther, the boots of Gargano, at least enough to hit Gunther, but obviously not enough to do enough damage. Now the ring general, oh wait a minute. Things are gonna go from bad to worse. Power bomb, stack it up Gargano. And that's it. Can probably count to 20 off that power bomb. The ring general Gunther with one more message sent to the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre ahead of that Clash of Titans this Sunday night in the Garden. We need to shovel Gargano's body off the canvas.
Here is your winner, Gunther!
Well, it was not an easy victory, but the ring general Gunther gets it done in the end, as he has time and time again. And will that man be leaving the world's most famous arena this Sunday night? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Drew McIntyre hitting the ring and going after the man who put him through the announce table 2 weeks ago in his hometown. McIntyre not interested in waiting till this Sunday night, but things that may have gone from bad to worse now for the World Heavyweight Champion. Gunther already fired up with the wheels spinning, taking Drew McIntyre out of his own arsenal. Oh, wait a minute. McIntyre exploding out of the corner. A Claymore kick to the #1 contender. McIntyre out for retribution 48 hours before Survivor Series. A second Claymore. Drew McIntyre with one last emphatic statement made. The World Heavyweight Championship is on the line this Sunday in Madison Square Garden as Gunther challenges Drew McIntyre at Survivor Series.
Face on when I chase like that, yeah, I play so strong with a knife in the back. I'ma swing home run like a baseball bat. Gonna see me rise, you can hate on that. I don't play both sides, doing me no cap, I'm a